Today, Nike finally delivers Caitlin Clark PE. Is this the first Caitlin Clark exclusive Nike commercial since she's entered the WNBA? I know she's made a cameo here, she's made a cameo there, she was featured as part of this rollout here, featured as part of this rollout there, but is this our first official Caitlin Clark solo commercial since she has joined the WNBA? And as well,
the $1 billion Nike deal just dropped, and it's already shaking the basketball world. But here's the twist no one saw coming. Sophie Cunningham, the Indiana Fever's fiery enforcer, just signed a jaw-dropping $20 million deal with Arby's. Yes, the fast food chain.
Well, we know somebody that has gotten ridiculously popular this year with the Indiana Fever. I made a prediction that she was going to be the second most popular player on this team by the end of the year. And then, of course, there was the big incident during the Connecticut Sun game. And by the end of that game, she was known as Caitlin Clark's enforcer, right? The one that's got her back. At times, it feels like the only one that's got her back, if I'm being quite honest. Well, that has led to a lot of opportunities because she has gone viral, all right? She's gone viral over hot girls eat Arby's. Yeah.
And behind both deals is one story that's about loyalty, power, and a move that's rewriting WNBA history. Nike had been tracking Caitlin Clark since her days lighting up scoreboards at Iowa. They saw her drop 40 points on national TV. They saw her fill NBA-sized arenas for women's games. They watched her break records, pull in ratings that networks hadn't seen before, and sell out merch faster than they could restock it. When Caitlin entered the WNBA, Nike knew she was more than just a star. She was the star.
So in your career, you got to match up against other Nike hoopers. Do you have a favorite matchup?
You're gonna get me in trouble. You know, getting to share the court with her was pretty fun, and you just see her competitive spirit.
So they made the biggest move in league history, a $1 billion campaign with a $25 million personal deal for Caitlin, making her the face of women's basketball for the next decade. But Caitlin had a plan Nike didn't expect. Just 1 week before the official campaign launch, she called Nike's top brass with an unusual request. She wanted them to create a custom sneaker, but not for herself. This shoe would bear her name and the initials of another player, Sophie Cunningham. Nike hesitated. Signature deals are solo deals. That's the whole point. But Caitlin stood her ground. I didn't get here alone, and I won't stay here alone. They agreed. On the day of the shoot, cameras rolled, lights blazed, and Caitlin opened a golden box. Inside, a white and gold sneaker embroidered with the word Legacy on the tongue and the initials SC. She turned to Sophie and said just 3 words, "This is ours."
And it looked like Nike has finally broken their silence about Caitlin Clark. Guys, then it goes on to say, but in her rookie season, she only wore a handful of Kobe PE sneakers, which means that there's possibly more Kobe PE shoes featuring Caitlin Clark that could be coming out. Now, we do know there's another pair, I believe they're white and blue, that is set to be coming out in October. But it goes on to say, now Nike is scheduled to release not 1, but 2 shoes for Caitlin Clark. That's not all. In addition, 2 different shoes. Caitlin Clark will get her own signature logo and an entire clothing line. Damn.
It was a moment that blew up social media within hours. No WNBA star had ever split their spotlight before, and Caitlin didn't just give Sophie a gift, she gave her a platform. Why Sophie? Because when Caitlin entered the league under fire, booed, targeted, even shoved, Sophie was there. She stepped in when veterans wouldn't.
It just feels like people are jealous of this new little wave of...
They are, but I just hate that because, like, this is what we've always wanted as a league. So, like, who cares who gets the credit? And if you're smart, you're making money off of them.
Yeah.
Like, you are literally making money from the viewership.
And what she made, the chirp was about how she didn't help plan the fucking...
Who cares? Like, who cares? You know what I mean? Like, I just hate when, like, people do stuff to get, it's like clickbait.
Yeah.
Like, you know, and there's so much clickbait, especially surrounding Caitlin. And so, like, it's just like, just be nice. Like, why can't people just be nice? Yeah. That's what I don't.
Why bully the person who is like not 100% responsible, but like has a huge role in growing your sport.
Dude, and it literally like pisses me off when people are like, she's not the face of the league.
Who would be?
What?
Sabrina? No.
No, there's really good, well-known people in our league. I'm not discrediting them. Like, we have a lot of badasses in our league.
Yeah.
Like, hell yeah to that. I'm all for that. But when people try to argue that she's not the face of our league, or if our league would be where we're at without her, you're dumb as
Yeah.
You're literally dumb.
She took hits, got into confrontations, and even paid fines to protect her rookie teammate. And Nike wasn't the only one watching. Out of nowhere, Arby's, yes, the fast food giant, swooped in. They saw Sophie as exactly the kind of bold, unapologetic personality that could grab attention outside of sports. The deal? $20 million over several years. It was one of the most unexpected endorsement moves in sports history. Why Arby's? Because Sophie isn't polished for the cameras. She's real. She's taken bruises, traded trash talk, and still stood tall. And now, she's using that image to break into a market no WNBA player has touched. The reaction around the league was immediate. Aja Wilson posted a single emoji. Angel Reese went live to talk about it. Some players were silent. Others were openly emotional. Inside one locker room, there were tears. Not of anger, but admiration. As one Fever teammate put it, she didn't just take the bag, she shared it. Who does that? But Caitlin's play here was bigger than Sophie. Nike quietly approved something they're calling the legacy line. Each year, Caitlin gets to choose one player, not a teammate, not necessarily a friend, just someone who's earned it, to be part of a co-branded release. Each player gets their own golden box moment. It's not just a sneaker drop, it's a dynasty. This is where jealousy creeps in, because in a league where rookies are often shoved around, Caitlin is now building a power circle. The more she lifts others, the more her influence grows. And Sophie Cunningham, she just became the first name etched in gold. The WNBA has always been tough. Rivalries run deep, rookies get tested, and respect is earned the hard way. But Caitlin Clark just changed the game, not by dominating the scoreboard, but by reshaping what power looks like in women's basketball. The billion-dollar Nike deal makes her the league's face. The legacy line makes her the league's kingmaker. And Sophie Cunningham's $20 million Arby's contract proves that the ripple effects are real. She went from being a respected veteran to one of the most marketable athletes in the game, all because someone she had once protected decided to return the favor in the biggest way possible. It's a reminder of a simple truth: you protect those who protect you. In a sports world obsessed with taking, Caitlin Clark is making headlines for giving. And in doing so, she's not just the face of the WNBA, she's the heart of it. This isn't just about money. It's about rewriting the rules of influence, loyalty, and legacy. And with one gesture, Caitlin Clark just proved she's playing chess, while everyone else is still figuring out checkers. Who should Caitlin pick next for the Golden Box? Drop your pick in the comments. I'm reading them all.
7 o'clock. What y'all doing 7 o'clock tomorrow?
What's up? Just nothing.
Better not be no work, nigga. I know that. No, I got 4 front rows to the throwing party.
Oh yeah, I'm done. All right.
No. It's the WNBA. No. I'm sorry. It's the WNBA game.
It's the same.
No, the WNBA game. It's the WNBA game. But right now, they not throwing t-shirts no more, bro. Yeah, you ain't sitting there throwing them.
How are you supposed to catch those though?
Like that. Listen. I was at the game last time. I was like, what agree with that?
Wait, do it again. What you do?
I caught my ass.
Nah, bro. Nah.
Hell no.
Nah.
It's the new thing.
You got one, bro.
We're not even watching the game no more. We just waiting. You're just waiting now.
Chaos has officially taken over the WNBA. And no, this isn't about a fight or a bad referee call. It's about more green dildos being launched onto the court mid-game.
The funny thing is like my parents and my sister, they literally text me after or before every single game, like saying good luck, like da-da-da, you know? And my mom, I'll send it so everyone can see this. But my mom, she goes, instead of like my good luck text, she goes, watch out for flying dildos tonight. And then the other one said, "Did you really just post the dildo tweet? It got some legs." And she goes, "It's funny, a lot of others think so too. Did you see the dildo hit the court?" I was like, I never thought that I'd be talking about this with Mama P.
Hitting players, interrupting play, and sending the league into full-on damage control. And the craziest part? Sophie Cunningham warned this would happen. And then it happened to her.
Dildo.
Dude, green machine. Green machine.
That's
honestly
electric.
Dude, it's funny.
You,
like, don't get me wrong.
You had a response.
It's hilarious. But then I tweeted, like, I was like low-key joking. And I think people, like, I was like joking but serious, but like more joking than serious. I wasn't even thinking about my ankles. I was thinking about, like, if someone threw that thing and, like, first of all, the bounce that thing had, if that smacked someone in the face, you know that that's going to be plastered everywhere. And if it didn't hit, if it came from the top, dude, I'm thinking about, like, if it gets, like, I just know how things go viral now. And I just know if that thing, like, even came from, like, the rafters or bounced and just slapped me right in the face, that would be what I'd be known for life. So I was just trying to protect all of our images. And yeah, break a f***ing nose. What the heck?
But how did this bizarre trend even start? And why are fans doubling down despite arrests, public outrage, and league crackdowns? What you're about to hear might be the strangest and most controversial segment in women's basketball history. It all started with one strange interruption. In the middle of a WNBA game, Hayes drove to the hoop, got blocked by Maya Caldwell, and then, out of nowhere, something green bounced across the court.
And 8 assists to add. Hayes gets blocked by Maya Caldwell. Something flies on the court, actually, from the crowd. The officials will say they will continue play as that goes off the fingertips of the Valkyries, but that needs to be addressed.
Well, let's go back to the block, though. Hayes thinks she has the clean shot, and Maya Caldwell just comes over and saves the possession. Excellent defense from Caldwell, and that's her job. That normally, Jordan Canada didn't know something flew on the court. She's being told right now.
At first, nobody could tell what it was. Then the broadcast replay zoomed in, and the internet erupted. The object? A bright green dildo, thrown from the stands. The officials hesitated for a second, but decided to keep the game going. Security scrambled to figure out where it came from. But by that point, the clip was already making the rounds online. The video didn't just capture the flying object, it also caught a massive airball, adding an extra layer of mockery for the WNBA. What most thought was a one-off turned out to be just the beginning. At the very next reported incident, play was stopped again as another green object sailed onto the floor. A man casually picked it up, smirked, and walked away, almost as if mocking the situation.
Got a whistle away from the basketball.
It was clear this was starting to become a thing. But the turning point came with the third big incident, because this time the target was Sophie Cunningham.
The Fever played the Sparks last night, and it was the third installment of Flying Dildo Gate. That's right, we had another dildo come flying out of the stands this time and nail Sophie Cunningham. Somebody protect her at all cost. Somebody protect Sophie Cunningham at all cost. She is offered a retort after said dildo drubbing out on the court.
And here's where it gets ironic. Sophie had just posted on social media telling fans to stop. Her exact words, "Stop throwing dildos on the court. You're going to hurt one of us."
It's been going on quite a bit, and just in case you haven't been taking women's sports seriously.
I haven't.
Last Friday, Sophie Cunningham, who's in the she tweeted this out. She said, "Stop throwing dildos on the court. You're going to hurt one of us."
The post got plenty of attention at the time, but nothing compared to what happened next. In that game, another green dildo came flying through the air and hit Sophie directly. Fans on social media immediately labeled it poetic justice. Her original post did not age well, as commenters gleefully pointed out. The incident went massively viral. 184,000 likes, 13,000 reposts, and endless memes.
And then late last night, after another one happened, she actually responded to her own ex post saying, "This did not age well." And here's the video as to why.
4 here before halftime. Oh, look out. Something just came onto the floor.
Bad choice of wording.
Just flew in as the free throw was being...
They're always kicking it. No one wants to pick it up.
No.
It looked like that hit a player, too.
They don't like penises in the WNBA, Josh. Come on.
Surprise!
Well, I mean,
obvious
who
reasons
wants
for that. Ew, penis.
Someone coming out with a hazmat, and it's always, just so you know, it's a trend. It's always lime green.
At this point, the trend was no longer just a prank. It had become a cultural moment, a meme-worthy tradition that certain corners of the internet were determined to keep alive. Fans began joking about bringing their own to games. Some speculated it might even be a marketing stunt, pointing out Sophie's paid partnership with Arby's and her I Have the Meats campaign. Others suggested the league should lean into it, using the chaos as a bizarre attendance booster. Meanwhile, the WNBA tried to restore order. Security checks got tighter. People were arrested for throwing objects, but the incidents kept coming. One was caught in the stands before it could reach the court. Another made its way to the floor during warm-ups. And in one clip, a fan grabbed the object barehanded and hid it under his shirt, like some kind of trophy. By this point, we were up to at least 4 or 5 documented cases. Commentators joked that it had become the league's most entertaining moment since Caitlin Clark's injury took her out of action. The chaos reached its peak when back-to-back games were interrupted, with fans openly mocking the league online. TikTok edits, Twitter memes, and even fake rules for dildo-throwing minigames were being posted. Some clips perfectly captured the absurdity, with an airball immediately following the throw. It was like the internet couldn't decide if this was a scandal or the best marketing the WNBA had ever gotten. For the league, it's a nightmare. They've worked for years to build credibility, increase viewership, and focus on the athleticism of their players. Now the conversation is dominated by an object that has nothing to do with basketball. But here's the real problem. This isn't just about the WNBA's image. It's about player safety. Whether it's a prank or not, anything thrown at a player mid-game can cause injury. And as Sophie herself pointed out, you're going to hurt one of us. Still, the cultural side of sports is unpredictable. Sometimes the strangest moments are the ones that stick. In an era where viral clips drive attention, the WNBA has to figure out how to shut this down, or risk it becoming part of their identity. So what do you think? Should the WNBA crack down harder on this chaos, or just embrace it for the attention it's bringing? If you're still watching, drop green dildo in the comments so I know you made it to the end.
Brittany Griner loses all self-control, getting in the referee's face, teed up, you're out of here. That referee must have been scared to death.
Brittany Griner has just been suspended after threatening a WNBA referee. And this wasn't just a heated exchange. This was physical contact, verbal abuse, and a complete meltdown on the court. All from a player the league keeps protecting at every turn.
I am 9 years all-star, baby, okay? I get to be the old school, I'm Papa B.
But here's what makes this story explosive. If Caitlin Clark or Sophie Cunningham had done the exact same thing, they'd be banned for the rest of the season, fined into next year, and dragged across every headline in sports.
Let me be the first to say, I guess I'm the first to say, if Caitlin Clark did this, if Lexi Hall did this, if Sophie Cunningham did this, they would be suspended for the rest of the season. I mean, hell, Kathy Engelbert and her bunch might kick them completely out of the league.
So why is Griner still getting a soft landing? And how far is the WNBA willing to go to protect its most controversial star?
But never fear, Brittany Griner, you ain't got nothing to worry about. Brittany Griner does what we call checking them boxes. And Brittany is checking all the boxes. The woke trifecta. Keep in mind, we traded an arms dealer, the Michael Jeffrey Jordan of arms dealer, Victor Bout, back to Russia for Brittany Griner.
Before we get into it, I want to know what you think. If you believe the league needs to start holding every player to the same standard, drop no double standard in the comments right now. Let's see how many of you are done with the hypocrisy. It all went down in a tight game against the Atlanta Dream. The Fever had just clawed back when the whistle blew. A foul call on Griner. It should have been a routine moment. Walk away, refocus, get back to the play. But instead, something snapped. Griner stormed toward the referee like a raging bull in a china shop. 6'9", built like a powerhouse, towering over a female official who was clearly trying to defuse the situation. Coaches rushed in, teammates pulled at her jersey. She didn't stop. She kept coming. She kept shouting. And then, she made contact.
You're right. That ball off to the ground.
No one on Samuelson. And there's a whistle as that ball was in the air. The shot didn't fall. But this is, I think, going to be on the Mercury as things continue to stay heated here. We had a little bit of a fracas earlier between Kelsey Mitchell and Natasha Cloud. Boston and Griner do.
Bumping an official in any professional sport is the ultimate no-go. It's a guaranteed ejection and almost always a multi-game suspension. And yet, in that moment, Griner didn't care. The crowd gasped. The commentators knew instantly this was going to be ugly. And here's the thing, this wasn't an isolated moment. Go back 5 years and you'll find the now infamous Christina Nagay incident. Griner chased her the full length of the court, swinging punches, turning a WNBA game into a scene straight out of WWE. Multiple players were ejected, security was involved, and the league gave her another chance.
Agunbowale, shot clock at 3, at 2, Turner reaching in, Alicia Gray from behind the line, and down it goes. And now we've got Brittany Griner going after Anigwe, and this could get ugly. Griner is being held back by numerous players and now trying to throw punches. Agler now is being pushed along the sideline on the press row. My goodness.
Fast forward to this season. Multiple technical fouls, multiple confrontations with refs, and one particularly disturbing moment caught on live TV where she muttered "effing white girl" about Caitlin Clark.
About earlier today.
No fines, no suspension, just silence. Even earlier this year, during a halftime interview, she abruptly stopped mid-sentence to stalk over to the officials, cursing them out on camera. Again, no suspension.
BG, right now you have 10 points, 5 rebounds. We see the Atlanta Dream as being very... Right now she's talking to the refs about holding. We're going to send it back to you guys.
Very important questions there, I'm sure, for Brittany Griner. And she said sorry.
This is a pattern. It's not one bad night. It's who she's become as a player. Now let's imagine this exact situation, but with different names. If Caitlin Clark had stormed a referee, made contact, and shouted threats, she'd be suspended indefinitely, slapped with a fine so large it would hit ESPN headlines, and probably forced to go through a psychological evaluation before she could step back on the court. If Sophie Cunningham even looked sideways at an official, she'd be out for weeks. And we know this because when Sophie defended Caitlin Clark from blatant targeting earlier this season, the WNBA fined her 6 figures before her post-game protein shake. Meanwhile, Clark is getting hammered every game, elbowed, shoved, hit in the face, with no flagrant fouls called. She so much as breathes near an opponent, and it's a foul. But Griner, she can truck stick a referee, and the conversation turns into, let's see how it plays out. This is why so many fans are done with the WNBA's selective justice. It's favoritism at its ugliest. And the fans aren't quiet about it.
He needs to be thrown out of the league and sent back to Russia. Can we send him back? This is how a man behaves. Ooh. Needs to go back to Russian prison. You knew this was not going to be good. Not going to be good at all. You see that. Has emotional issues. Needs to be fined. Get her out of the W. About as feminine as Michael Obama. Oh, God. Worst deal in recorded history. I'll stand by that. The only deal that might actually be worse than that is Deshaun Watson.
Petitions are already circulating to have Griner banned from the league entirely. Social media is flooded with clips of her bumping the ref, throwing shade at Clark, and instigating fights. People are digging up her past too, her domestic violence arrest, her on-court cheap shots, and the racial comments. It's painting a picture of someone who isn't just having a rough season, but someone who has been enabled for years by a league afraid to hold her accountable. And the real kicker, the WNBA markets her as a role model. This suspension isn't just about one game, it's about the league's credibility. If the WNBA is serious about being taken seriously as a professional sports league, it has to prove it can enforce its rules equally, no matter the name on the jersey. Right now, the message is clear. If you're part of the league's protected inner circle, you can bully referees, assault opponents, and spew slurs with no real consequences. If you're not, you better keep your head down and take the hits. Fans are seeing through it. And if the league keeps ignoring moments like this, they'll lose the very audience they've been trying to build, especially the millions tuning in for players like Caitlin Clark. This wasn't passion for the game. It wasn't heat of the moment. It was a veteran player melting down, physically intimidating an official, and showing zero respect for the sport. And it's not the first time, or the second, or the third. Griner's track record is now impossible to ignore, and the WNBA has a choice. Either hold her accountable like they would anyone else, or admit the rules only apply to certain players. If they choose the second option, they're not just protecting Griner, they're destroying their own credibility. So I'll put it to you, should Brittany Griner be banned from the WNBA for good? Or will another slap on the wrist keep this cycle going? If you're still watching, drop no double standard in the comments so we can show the league how many fans are fed up with this.